Oh, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I can't really say that Wildomar and Murrieta are neighbors because we're not. We're intertwined. Clinton Keith Road that way is Murrieta. Behind me is Wildomar. Clinton Keith Road that way is Murrieta. We are truly intertwined. I moved to Murrieta 13 years ago this coming April. And you know, when you buy a house, you generally don't try and see what it looks like around your neighborhood in rush hour. So imagine my surprise when I was on this Clinton Keith Road for my very first time at about 6 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to make a right turn. And I thought, is there something I don't know? Where's all this traffic come from? Well, it got worse for me. I moved to the west side of Murrieta a couple of years after that. And literally, I would come up Washington to Palomar, try and make a right turn onto Clinton Keith and go, where'd all this traffic come from? And the answer is they came from the Santa Rosa Plateau, they came from Bear Creek, and what used to take me 5 minutes to make the right turn to head north, now to make the left turn heading north became a 15 to 20 minute process. Folks, this project has been a long time waiting, and when you get right down to it, there's one reason to do it, and it's called you, the citizens of Wildomar, the citizens of Murrieta, the citizens of Southwest Riverside County. And God forbid that you should happen to be somebody who needs ambulance service a couple miles up the road to the north, because when that AMR ambulance picks you up and they come down to Clinton Keith, even with those flashers on, and they find out that, guess what? It's gridlocked at that corner, and there's no place for all those motorists to pull off to allow you to get past. And that's an extra 5 minutes that it's going to cost you when you're trying to get to the Southwest Healthcare Inland Valley facility that Mr. Rivers owns. So as I said, ladies and gentlemen, the citizens of Southwest Riverside County have been waiting a long time. Thank God this day is here.
Rick Bishop, Executive Director.
Thank you, Dave, and good morning, everybody. This is becoming routine to see a number of elected officials, staff, private sector parties coming together to see groundbreakings like this for regionally significant projects. And it's a thrill to see the TUMP program, which through the visionary work of our Board of Supervisors and all of our cities come to fruition back in 2003. It's a program that overall is going to contribute nearly $4 billion to roads and regional and local infrastructure here in western Riverside County. From this point, if you head out 10 miles, you're going to see almost $1 billion in TUMP dollars being used to improve infrastructure here to serve future development. So this is a very visionary program. It's an infrastructure program which is certainly important to those of us that are in the transportation field, but as Supervisor Buster alluded to, this is an economic development effort. With just $10 million of TUMP dollars alone being provided for this project, that equates to about 170 jobs that will be on this project. The TUMP program overall, with $550 million collected, will provide nearly 10,000 jobs, much needed jobs in this down economy. So, you know, depending on how you look at it, it's an infrastructure project which is very necessary to serve our future residents. It's an economic development project which is very much needed in these times. So it's a real privilege to be a part of that program. And again, it wouldn't be happening without the very concerted leadership from our Board of Supervisors and our council members. I see some that are here that are on our board now and some that have been on our board in the past, and we can't thank you enough, as well as the support of our public works directors and city managers that have made the program move ahead. And then finally, you can't dismiss the fact that the development community is the source of these TUMP dollars, and we really appreciate their full support in understanding the need to mitigate future development. So it's a real good public and private sector program, and we're seeing the results of it in projects like this. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Rick. Now I'd like to introduce from Southwest Healthcare System, CEO Ken Rivers.
I appreciate the opportunity to be here today, and we're very excited about this strategic link that's going to be placed into our communities. I'm here representing almost 2,000 employees that work at Southwest Healthcare System and about 400 physicians that work through those hospitals. What this allows for is an incredible increase in access, that with this, the speed of access, because over half of those physicians and over 90% of my trauma physicians live on that side of the freeway. So this is going to be very important for response times, It'll also allow us to now, because we've had a lot of requests from the supervisors as well as the CAL FIRE and our emergency response systems, to go up a level in our urgent care response to level 2. And it took a bit of doing. This access improvement will allow us then to commit to go from a level 3 trauma center up to a level 2, which we will accomplish when this opens up. The other opportunity this afforded is that I was able to open up a $40 million improvement here at Inland Valley. With this additional access to more people, especially in the Murrieta and Wildomar area, I'm now going to put forth a $20 million open heart cardiology program that we would hope to have open in the next 2.5 years. The one thing I want to impress here is, please, safety. I do not want to see any of the workers on this project in my emergency department. None. We have been very fortunate. We just did the topping out ceremony at Temecula Valley Hospital. We finished out the all the steel, 0 incidents. And I challenge you all to do the same thing. Please be safe, and we're very excited about this strategic development. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ken. Now from Caltrans District 8, my pleasure to introduce Hector Davila, Deputy Director of Construction.
Well, good morning. Well, we're all here to celebrate the Clinton Keith groundbreaking here today, but specifically a new structure, new bridge, a new interchange. Bigger and better, referred to as the next Brooklyn Bridge, right? You know, I too Googled Clinton Keith. I'm not from this area, so I Googled it, and I came, you know, the first few things that came out was CK, Calvin Klein. I knew that wasn't it, so I'm glad Supervisor Buster pointed out what Clinton Keith was and who he was. So it's instrumental in that regards. Bill Clinton also came up with Clinton in that regard, so I knew that wasn't me either. So thank you for clarifying that. It's a culmination of a lot of hard work and efforts, as you heard. Actually, the bad thing about being last, I'm going to say ditto to everything that was previous speaker said. I actually left half my speaking notes in my folder there because I don't want to reiterate a lot of that stuff. But it's a lot of hard efforts. What I'm going to talk about is probably the partnerships that were developed throughout the process of delivering the project here today. So it's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate this milestone event. Another reference that was made is a lot of the efforts and familiar faces that I've been to personally for groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings. And it's generated throughout the process of delivering these interchanges, ribbon cuttings, and the hard work that individuals have put forward. And it's developed through a working relationship with Han and his staff, as he mentioned earlier, a strong, effective partnership, mutual, cooperative working relationships, and an effective way of communicating a battalion of efforts. And it is a battalion of efforts. Huge efforts, and no easy tasks generated in these great partnerships. That continues to strive today, and we're looking forward to that, both locally and at Caltrans level. Now, some of you probably are aware of how hard it is to get something out of Caltrans. Now, I don't want to go into those discussions, but in working with some of you, it is a needed process, and it's to ensure that funding is secured and cooperated with in the delivery process. And it was particularly in this project, there was a lot of back and forth submittals, reviews, timeliness was crucial, deliverables were critical, and as that process kind of went into fruition, proposed negotiations were met, there was conditional approvals met, so that we can be here today to celebrate this event. I think that's one of the efforts that were developed and the partnership developed. Strong lines of communications, a lot of problem solving. You heard about the funding. Some of us today drove through construction projects. I mean, from the I-10, Riverside County is a huge county. There's I-10 projects, there's State Route 74, 79, Cal Oaks. You've heard, like I said, you drove through a construction project today. If it wasn't for these partnerships, WRCOG, Riverside County, RCTC, FHWA, and Caltrans, it's a collaborative effort between every one of these agencies to come up with hundreds of millions of dollars to support these projects that made it to construction. And we've heard of the state budget economy today. If it wasn't for these individuals sitting out here in these rows today, we wouldn't be here today to celebrate this event. specifically for these locals, these mayors, supervisors, board of supervisors. Thank you, and we should accommodate these and commend these individuals for making it possible to be here today. So thank you to all of you for here today. So together we can make this possible, and that's why I'm here today to discuss these partnerships. Moving forward, it's a bright future. This interchange will relieve congestion. Juan kind of mentioned that. Juan, I want to thank you and your staff, Patty Romo. You mentioned Typhoon earlier, so thank you. We're here today to celebrate that. Relieve congestion with this interchange. You've seen the video, you've seen the chart here in the back. Improve mobility, improve safety, and the quality of life to local residents and the commuters who are going to benefit this once we complete construction and hopefully in another 18 months here. So hats off and kudos to those involved, and congratulations to the city of Wildomar. As a construction deputy here for Caltrans, my staff will basically have the oversight responsibility. I have Tangu Ligan on the back and his oversight engineer, Majid Yosef, who will be here to facilitate that. But moving forward, it will turn into a construction area. I know you've seen Cal Oaks down the road here, but please drive safely, slow for the cone zone. There will be traffic impacts. Be patient. 18 months will come and go real quick, and then you will be able to drive there freely. Drive safely. Thank you. I know we mentioned CHP, but we have emergency services that will be accommodated through the facilitation of the construction. CHP, EMT, CAL FIRE's here, Sheriff. Thank you. Local law enforcement. And also Griffith Company. They're standing here in the back. I'm sure they'll make every effort to make every accommodation available to all of us to keep it safe. So thank you, and we look forward to a successful project.
Thank you, Hector. Now for the official groundbreaking. This is what we're going to do. We have a couple of different opportunities. For the first one, we can get all the speakers.
You're going to dump it, and the photographers are going to be ready. All right, you're loaded. You're just going to dump it right back in front. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Reload. Reload. Ready. 1, 2, 3. All right. Next load. Ready. 1, 2, 3. One more time. Reload. All right. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. All right. Next group. All right. Load.
Lock and load.
1, 2, 3. Reload. Reload. Should have you going that way toward the interchange. All right. 1, 2, 3. All right.